We've learned to add, subtract, and multiply. Now it's time to learn how to divide. Since division is the inverse operation of multiplication, it's easy to figure out the rules. If I say that 4 times 5 is equal to 20, a related division fact, that means that 20 divided by 5 must equal 4, and you know that to be true. If I say 4 times negative 5, we know that that is a negative 20. And the inverse of that is negative 20 divided by negative 5 is positive 4. Notice in both of these we have the same signs. These are two positives equal a positive. These are two negatives divided equal a positive. So hold that thought. The next type would be negative 4 times positive 5. That also equals negative 20. The inverse of that is negative 20 divided by positive 5. Notice there's a negative and a positive. That equals a negative. And the final type of problem would be negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. So positive 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. Notice that these have different signs, or one negative, and they turn out to be negative. So we can really deduce from that, we can only divide numbers two at a time. So when you have the same signs, like here, it equals a positive. And when you have different signs, it equals a negative. But we can also still bring it down to the overarching rule for multiplication that we learned. And that is count the negative signs. And we're talking just in the problem. Like if I say negative 45 divided by 9, this is the problem. There's one negative sign there. An even number of negatives equals a positive. An odd number of negatives equals a negative. So one thing and beyond, we're almost never going to use this symbol anymore. It's a perfectly adequate symbol, but far more frequently we use the fraction bar to show division. So you need to recognize that if I say negative 56 and then a fraction bar 8, that means negative 56 divided by 8. And since I have one negative sign, that means that it's going to be a negative answer. And negative 56 divided by 8 is 7. If I have negative 39 divided by negative 13, I can see I have two negatives. That's an even number. That makes my answer positive, and 39 divided by 13 is positive 3. Sometimes in these problems, you're going to see that there's something that needs to be done first. Like if I say 11 plus 7 divided by 6. This fraction bar actually works as a grouping symbol. And because of that, before you can do anything else, you need to simplify what's on top and what's on bottom. Well, there's nothing we can do to the bottom, so it's just plain old negative 6. But 11 plus 7 is 18. And now I can divide. I have one negative, which is an odd number, making this a negative answer. And 18 divided by negative 6 is negative 3. Or you might have two separate problems. Negative 12 divided by negative 4. And then add that to, I don't know, let's see. What's a felicitous number? Let's say 36 divided by negative 18. So we've got two negatives here, making it a positive answer when I divide, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So negative 12 divided by negative 4 is positive 3. And 36 divided by negative 18 has one negative, so I know that's going to be a negative. And 18 goes into 36 twice, so that equals 1. As a grade, we're going to look and see how variables play into it. So you may be asked to evaluate expressions. So let's say in our expressions, x is going to be -2 and y is going to be 3. So if you're told to say, let's say I've got 2 times x times y divided by 3, -3. Let's make it -3. What I have to always do first is show replacement. So when things are right next to each other, it means multiply. I'm going to say 2 times -2 times +3, and I'm going to divide it by -3. It's a grouping symbol here because there's lots of different things on the top and the bottom. So these numbers, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, and since I have one negative sign, that means 1 is an odd number, means this -12. Then divided by -3, this is an even number of negatives, and that makes for your answer. So that's how you divide positive and negative numbers.